Hello there, it is Friday the 13th, 2015's weekly wrap-up, Friday the 13th. That's not an unlucky day. I've had a lot of lucky things happen on Friday the 13th, and this is one of them. I get to be here, talk about the latest releases on the website, and the latest release is Step 4 in the Melisma Course. And what I did in that lesson was something that even if you're not interested in melismas, you should check out, because it's at this point in the Melisma course that I want to make sure that everybody has a balanced connection between their registers, and also sort of show people how to think out of the box and jump up and drop down really low and jump up really high with just little easy movements. And think that way, because lots of times people think, oh, they have to work their way through their range somehow. Even when you understand mix, if you're thinking that, okay, I'm going from my chest voice, now the mix has got more pressure in it, and I've got to work this out, and then I can adjust into my head voice. There's a trick. I think of it as a trick. It's really a style of singing so comfortably in all three parts of your range that your vocal folds just finally give up the tension, and it starts to get a lot easier to sing. Anyway, that's very much what Step 4 in the Melisma Course is all about, showing you how to take a melody line and vocalize this way and stylize. And by stylizing to the melody line and getting these feelings going, then I'm going to apply the same ideas to the melismas, which can cross over the bridges. When you're doing long, multiple notes, easily cross over the bridges. So that's logic to me. It's time to make sure that everybody's range is up and ready, and that they're up to the task of what's really happening in Step 4 in the Melisma Course for what's to follow. So that's what we did. That's what the Melisma Course is moving right along, and happy that I've got it to that point. Now, what about the musical tip of the week? Let's talk about tension. Tension in the voice, and what it really is, and how to look for it. Well, there's different things that I look for when I'm working with the student. The first big things that I always talk to everybody about is these strip muscles that move along the chin here. Fancy words, digastric hyoid muscles. These are the muscles that are involved in the process of swallowing. You know, every muscle in our body does one thing, and there's an opposing set of muscles to do the opposite thing. Meaning that the muscles that close my hand are not the muscles that open my hand. The muscles that close my hand are called major constrictors, and the muscles that open my hand are called minor constrictors. Here in our culture, we're very sort of major constrictor oriented. We're doing push-ups and bench presses and pull-ups and all of our exercises. We think about working out like this and tightening up, but how often do you ever think about working out like this in the opposite direction? Because what you really need to do is balance the muscles in both directions. Truth is that these muscles need to be deactivated when it comes to singing. They're not going to be deactivated when it comes to swallowing, obviously. Again, they're the muscles involved in the swallowing process, and they're great when it comes to eating and drinking. We need them. So, how do they work, and what am I talking about? Take your thumbs and put them under your chin here. And don't go way in the back. Move it, not way in the front either, kind of 3/4 up from the back. You can feel those muscles, and stick your thumbs right in between here and swallow. When you do that, you'll feel the muscle pull down for a second and come back. Those are the muscles, and that's the process. Those muscles create tension in the fact that they pull on the larynx. They're structured to help the larynx go up, come back down again, for the epiglottis to cover the vocal folds, so then it becomes like a slide and sends food and liquids down the esophagus into the stomach, which is a different hold in your air pipe, obviously. And again, all of that process that's going on there, if it gets involved in your singing, it takes your vocal folds from their position that's the right position. It's kind of like a 45-degree angle that they're headed at. And if they're in the right place and the air is pushing up through them correctly, then they resist the air in a focused way, and the air comes out kind of slow, and that's the beginning of good technique. And the tension is when you feel these moving. So if you can put your thumbs underneath here and vocalize a little bit with various sounds. For example, let's take an oo vowel sound. Just go ooh. When I do that, I feel very little motion as I shift through the registers. Like here I'm in my chest. Ooh, ooh. I'm in mix right there. Ooh. I'm still in mix, pulling my mix up a little higher, but I can feel my vibrato working, but no pull or tension in these muscles at all. Ooh, and then I'm going to finally get to this place. Ooh, right there where I'm going to shift into my head voice. Ooh. Again, I can feel my vibrato happening, but no movement of the muscle at all. The slightest movement at all, if there is any at all, when I'm making the shift through the registers. I can barely feel that. Most of the time I can't even feel that, but I'm aware that it's happening. Now, another aspect of tension is when singers are manipulating their faces in strange kind of ways, grimacing with their foreheads, opening their eyes really, really wide, being tight in the jaw here. All of those things are outward tensions. Now, your face muscles, the outside face muscles, are not really biologically connected to your voice, so to speak, but they're sort of married to each other in the mind. If you're grimacing and putting tension in your face, I guarantee that there's a 99% chance that you're tensing the back of your soft palate. Now, by not having those expressions on your face does not guarantee that you're not still activating muscles that will actually restrict the voice. But they're something to take off the checkoff list. So you can stand in front of a mirror and vocalize, feel if these muscles underneath your chin are tensing up or not tensing up, and that they're staying relaxed, and that you're singing up through your registers. And as you do that with various different vowel sounds, that's a good study. That's a good way to start to really feel your connection from the bottom to the top of your range. But there's still a problem, and that is the tongue. Because the tongue gets involved the moment you start to add consonant sounds to the vowel sounds. Because now the tongue, the tongue helps us articulate. And depending upon what particular consonant sound you're using, you're going to have the tongue move in different places. If I take the vowel sounds oo, o, ah, e, ah, a, and I put a D in front of it, it would be do, do, da, di, da, de, and all of that would be off the tip of the tongue. Ku, ko, ka, ki, ka, ke. That's a K. Well, k, 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 k. That's the K sound. Now my tongue's coming off the back of my throat. Lu, lo, la, li, la, le. Now it's an L. If I put that on there, you sort of feel the whole length of the tongue. Now, if I put an M in front of it, mu, mo, ma, mi, ma, me, the tongue's not really involved anymore, but the lips are. Because now the lips are opening and closing to pronounce the M sound. And so, when we're really singing songs, this stuff is firing off all over the place like a machine gun, like an Uzi going off. That's why songs themselves are not really the best way to study to learn how to sing correctly. Because the songs, I always tell every student that songs are like crossword puzzles. Every new song is a new crossword puzzle with problems to solve because of the combination of vowel, consonant, and range register problems that are all happening simultaneously. And so you have to take a look at that. Now, the old adage, don't fix it if it's not broke, means that if you're singing a song and everything's comfortable, and again, you can put your fingers underneath the chin and see that there's very little movement or none or very little, hey, you're golden. Everything is good. And you're having no problem singing up and down. You watch yourself in the mirror and you're not doing all kinds of tense things and you're not tensing your jaw or the hinge of your jaw. Well, then you're golden. But sooner or later you're going to run into, and we all do, I don't care who you are. I don't care how famous you are, what your name is. We all run into problems when it comes to singing a particular song when maybe you're singing over a bridge point and you have to make an adjustment and simultaneously the tongue is doing something really weird and bingo, these muscles activate and you're having a hard time singing that one high note or to pull the power up a certain way. All of those things are problems. The moment that you run into those problems, that's when you want to troubleshoot. And the way you troubleshoot is to say, let me see, what's the word? What are the notes? Where are these notes following in my range? Am I singing over a bridge point? What vowel sounds, when I talk about the words, what vowel consonant combinations are happening? Because the problem is going to be in one or more of those things lining up all at the same time. So you have to be Sherlock Holmes when it comes to the voice whenever you run into a problem and sort of work your way through that problem understanding, is it the vowel, is it the consonant, is it the range, is it all three happening at the same time? What are the hardest consonant sounds and so forth? This is the study of voice. So your musical tip of the week, stick your thumbs underneath your chin, vocalize through your vowels, go up and down, ooh, maybe take it, if that feels comfortable, sounds silly? It is. But hey, what was I just doing there? I'm vocalizing through my range with an M, thinking different vowel sounds with a M consonant in front of it. As you start to do that and get better. Now, whenever you run into a particular word that really is a problem, look at the vowel consonant combination and do that exact thing. Vocalize up and down your range, feel comfortable with it. You'll find how you really should sing through that bridge area by doing this. It's not just drop the jaw, open up the throat, sing with the support down here. Are those wrong things to say? They are not wrong things to say. But sometimes they do, when a student or a singer is looking at that in the wrong way or manipulating their body to try to follow those directions, it does become something that actually is the wrong technique to get you through your bridge area. You'll just end up jamming up and feeling frustration at the fact that for some reason other people can sing in that area and they sound great and comfortable, yet every time you try to do it, you can't do it. You jam up. If you're jamming up, it's one of these problems that I'm telling you about. And the only other thing that can happen is that you're building too much heft, which is very common, too much heft and air pressure underneath the vocal cords as you're singing higher and higher into your range. So you have to understand how to do those things. Musical tip of the week, feel this, do your sirens, take the consonant sound. When you have a problem in a song, to problem shoot the song, look at what the words, what the range is, what the notes are, and how it falls, and see if you can create your own little exercise, like I just explained, to help you through that area. Then go back and sing it and see if you're not better at it. So that's the wrap up for this week. Those of you on YouTube, please come on over and sign up for the free membership and check out the site and look at all the courses and all the fun things that we have here. Teaching you how to sing licks and lines. It's called the Melisma Course. There's a harmony course. There's a jazz scat singing course. There's ear training courses. There's courses that teach you how to develop vibrato if you're having problems with it. There's so much information here, and it constantly grows. And there's hundreds of songs and breakdowns for both male and females. I take wonderful singers, bring them in, have them sing the songs, and then turn those songs into lessons and explain to you how to sing the way they're singing. Sometimes the singers are famous, sometimes they're not, but they're always good. So, totallyvocals.com. Come check us out.